Hello everyone, we are from Group 3. Welcome to our bioproduct processing video. Stay tuned and enjoy our video. Okay, the first thing that you have to do is you have to peel the garlic. Some people prefer to leave the skin on, but I just prefer to peel it off. So by using a sharp knife, carefully remove the garlic skin. So after we finish removing all the garlic peel, the next thing that we have to do is we have to chop the garlic finely like this. This is to make sure that we have a large surface area so that the garlic will dry even faster. We were just about to dry the garlic under the sun when it suddenly rained. So now we have to wait until the rain is settled down and the sun is back up before we can start the drying process. So this is one of the challenges that we face during the making of this garlic powder. We have chopped the garlic into thin slices, so now we're going to lay them out in a tray like this, and we're going to put it under the sun for at least 2 days and let it dry. We are trying to get as much water from the garlic to be evaporated before we do the next process. This is how the garlic looked like after being dried under the sun for 2 days, but if you need more time to dry it, then please do so. You know it's dry when it snaps when you break it into half. After that, we're going to bake it in a preheated 200 degrees Celsius oven and bake it until it's golden brown. After that, we're going to blend the garlic. You can use any type of blender, but I'm using this spice blender. Okay, put it in the blender and close the lid. By using the pulse motion, you can grind the garlic into powder. Make sure you do this several times until the garlic turns into fine powder. Okay, now an advice from me. Please make sure that before you open this, make sure that you wait for a while, or else it's going to be like this. The powder is going to fly all over the place. So I've done it a few times until it turns into a fine powder like this. After you finish blending it, put it on a parchment paper so that it's easy for you to transfer it into an airtight container. So this is the final product, guys. Garlic powder is done. Isn't that easy? Hello again everyone. So now that you have seen the whole process of making this garlic powder, isn't it easy? Just a few simple steps and you will get a very nice roasted garlic powder. So there are a few steps of making this garlic powder. The first step is slicing the garlic powder into small pieces. So why do we do that? Why do we need to slice the garlic powder into smaller pieces before drying it under the sun? Well, the reason why we slice it into thin slices is so that we get a very nice surface area that will increase the rate of evaporation. So when we increase the rate of evaporation, we will speed the drying process. Thus, we will get the product faster. The second process is roasting the garlic in the oven. So you can actually skip this process if you want to make a regular garlic powder, but here I'm using this step because I want to give the garlic powder a roasted flavor to it. So that is why we do this roasting process. It's just to add the flavor into the garlic. It is also to kill microorganisms that might be on the garlic powder while you are drying it under the sun, because who knows what the garlic powder have been exposed to when you dry it under the sun in open air. So this roasting process also serves as a sterilization process for the garlic before you turn it into garlic powder. It also ensures that your garlic have the lowest amount of water in it, because if your garlic have even a small amount of water, it will be spoiled even faster. So when your garlic is very dry, when the garlic powder is very dry, the shelf life of the garlic powder will extend even longer. So why do we make garlic powder? Why don't we just use garlic that we can buy in the supermarket and use it directly into our food? Yes, you can do that. You can just put garlic into your food as an ingredient. But this garlic powder is actually one of the preservation process. Imagine if you have a very large amount of garlic in your house, and you know that if you leave the garlic there for a long time, the garlic will be spoiled by bacteria. That's just the natural process. Everything is going to spoil after a long time. So this drying process enables you to extend the shelf life of your product in a very affordable way without using any type of chemical. So it is very safe for us to consume. Apart from that, the step that we use to make this garlic powder can also be applied to other herbs such as galangal, ginger, and many more herbs. So if you want to try making your own garlic powder or making your own onion powder or any type of herbs and spices that you would like to extend the shelf life, and you would like to carry it somewhere that doesn't have that kind of product. For example, you might want to go to the UK, but then in the UK you don't have the same ingredient that you have here in Malaysia. So you can always dry your galangal at home and bring it to UK and use it in your cooking. So as you see, this is very useful for us. So thank you so much for staying with us throughout this whole video. We hope you like it. We hope you can practice this at home. So next one, my friend Leslie Baranda is going to talk about our case study. So stay tuned for that. Till we meet again next time.
Hello everyone. So we met again at this topic about garlic powder processes, but in different season, which is our season about case study. So I continue the presentation for my group mate, which is Muhammad Izwandi, to present about what is the differentiation or the types that we want to learn about the garlic powder processes. Before we go further, let's talk about what the objective of this case study was made. Number one, this case study is to know the benefit of garlic powder users. Number two, we want to study the different byproduct processes of producing the garlic powder in industry. Yeah. And the third, we want to determine the type of spice that can be processed in the same way. So, now we talk about garlic powder benefit. The benefit of the garlic powder is as dish seasoning and medical preparation in global as a herbs. Then we also know the garlic powder is can preserve at long period time. Then garlic powder it still contains protein, vitamin B6 and essential oil. Excuse me. Then actually, garlic powder is less calories compared to fresh garlic. as we taken it in our food. Now we talk about the industrial processing technique that apply around the world in processing the garlic powder in widely. So garlic powder mostly processed in countries that cultivate it widely like India. India is the place of the that rich in spice actually. Then there are two types of processing technique can be applied on producing the garlic powder, which is roasted garlic powder and dehydrated garlic powder. As your information, roasted garlic powder is a process that apply heat or high temperature onto the product, and then dehydrated garlic powder is removing of the water content inside the product. There are a few types of product can be produced in this method like garlic, onions, chilies, and other spice. This process is for import the product to other country actually for more uh, preservation. Then we talk about the process technique that apply around the world in producing the garlic powder. Let's talk about roasted garlic first. The step that include in roasted garlic powder is the selecting of the good garlic or the fresh garlic, then spread it from the rotten and then peeling it, and then we go to roasted. At the roasting, excuse me. At roasting step, which is the garlic will be deeply caramelized and sticky and flavorized. Then the garlic will be sterilized, then grinding, and lastly for packaging. Add dehydrated garlic powder. This technique have a few steps like selecting, separating, cleaning, peeling, crushing, dehydrating, grinding, and packaging. So at this step, the garlic will be crushing first before that dehydrating. But at the roasted garlic powder, there will be roasting first before the grinding. So now, at the hydration step, there are two steps involved, which is dewatering and drying. At dewatering, garlic will be squeezed with fine screen. Okay, squeeze with fine screen. Then at drying, garlic at drying, garlic will put in drying oven in 50 until 55 degree for a while. After finishing this process, as we call dehydrating, then the garlic will grinding and then will packaging. So this is the few machine that we use for producing the garlic powder. Instead it in roasted garlic powder or dehydration garlic powder. So the machine is select and spread machine, peeling and cleaning machine, roasting machine. Roasting machine is for roasted technique. Then grinding machine, sterilizing machine, dehydration machine actually this one that is for dehydration technique. So let's talk about the difference between the product. Number one, let's talk about roasted garlic powder. The color of the roasted garlic powder is more lightly brown actually, and then the taste is rich of toasty and sweet. As we know, the at the roasted process, which is we can put any flavor to the product. Okay, so because of the effect in the roasted, the color more lightly brown actually. So this product have a taste and have darkness color from others. Then dehydrated garlic powder. Dehydrated garlic powder have the pale yellow in color, and that the taste is original as due to it process just dehydrate the water content inside the garlic. So this process or the hydrated process is to process the product that have maintained the origin and make it more preserved actually. Then experiment garlic powder, which is produced that explained by my teammate actually. The color is lightly brown, same as roasted garlic powder, and then the taste is flavorish due to heating in oven as roasting step. So we know the step is at the roasting and the experiment garlic powder. The step is we grinding the garlic after we heating it, right? Compared to dehydrated garlic powder, which is we uh, grinding it first before we dehydrated it. So that is the difference, and that is the case study in this topic experiment. So that's all for me as a presenter in case study today. Thanks for your interest. Goodbye.
Thank you everyone for staying tuned to our video. My name is Muhammad Izwandi and my groupmate is Leslie and Martha. Special thanks to Dr. Hanisa. Bye everyone.